I wanted to talk about the themes of Buddhism in Land of the Lustrous. This video will be full of spoilers, so make sure to finish the manga before watching this video. Haruko Ichikawa enrolled in a Buddhist high school when she was younger, which inspired her work. Land of the Lustrous is a deconstruction of Pure Land Buddhism and its failures. A lot of what I am about to say is up to debate, so take it with a grain of salt. The first piece of Buddhism comes in the form of Kongo Sensei, also known as Adamant, who is depicted as a Buddhist monk. Kongo is a prayer machine built by humans in the past in order to pray for the souls of the dead in order to purify them. However, in the past, his internal components became damaged, which caused him to be unable to pray for them and turn them into nothingness. Kongo is a caricature of the Kshitigarbha. Kshitigarbha is a Buddhist figure with the role of a bodhisattva. A bodhisattva is basically someone who is one step away from becoming a Buddha, who is trying to help all other beings achieve enlightenment. The meaning differs depending on the school of Buddhism, but this is the definition best suited for Kongo. Kshitigarbha is a bodhisattva that has vowed not to achieve Buddhahood until all the hells have been emptied. He is often depicted as a Buddhist monk, which is nearly identical to Kongo's appearance. In Land of the Lustrous, it is also revealed that Kongo's duty is to help the Lunarians become nothingness and escape their current existence. Seeing as the lives the Lunarians and Lustrous currently lead can be aptly described as purgatory, Kongo's role to help them escape it is very reminiscent of Kshitigarbha's task of helping all beings escape the hell realms. Another reference of Buddhism are the 7 treasures, which are represented as precious materials: gold, silver, lapis lazuli, fossilized shell, agate, pearl, and a red pink jewel. This will be relevant later. One of Buddhism's key teachings is about the 3 marks of existence, 3 things that all beings experience. They are anicca, impermanence, anatta, no self, no soul, and dukkha, the suffering. Each of the 3 species in the Land of the Lustrous universe symbolize one of these. The admirabilis, the guest reports we see, represent anicca because unlike the other 2 races, they age and die, meaning that they have to reproduce to continue their species. They are not immortal and they are constantly changing. The Lustrous represent anatta because there is no singular permanent part of any of them that can be called a soul, which is proven by Phos because there is technically no part of them that cannot be replaced. And lastly, we have the Lunarians. They represent dukkha. According to the Buddha, the primary cause of suffering is desire, and the Lunarians are motivated by their desire to become nothingness. If you are still watching and haven't finished the manga, this will be now going into full spoiler territory, so make sure to finish the manga before watching the rest of this video. In chapter 9, Phos loses his legs due to trusting in admirabilis, which results in them getting new ones made out of shell and agate, which is now their first and second Buddhism treasure. In chapter 16, Phos loses his arms because of the ice floats, and in chapter 19 a lot of his outer shell cracks while trying to rescue Antarcticite from the Lunarians. His new arms and part of his shell are made out of a gold and platinum alloy, which covers a large mass around his body, wrapping around him like a net. This replaces most of his body and makes this their 3rd and 4th Buddhism treasure. In chapter 44, Phos loses his head while fighting against Lunarians, and gets his head replaced with the head of lapis lazuli, which makes this their 5th Buddhism treasure. In chapter 56, Phos gets his eye gouged out by Arachmea and replaced with a synthetic pearl, making this their 6th Buddhism treasure. We also learn that Kongo Sensei can only pray when a human tells him to do so. At this point in the story, Phos is now considered a human because he has all 3 attributes from every race. He has the shell of the admirabilis, he has his gem body, which is the Lustrous, and his synthetic pearl from the Lunaris, which makes him combine every aspect of the flesh, spirit and bone. In chapter 94, Foss, who is now considered human, reaches Congo and frees him by wishing that he broke, and Congo's last command or wish to Foss is to take his right eye, which Foss implants in themselves as the Khmer attacks them. If this counts as last Buddhism treasure is debatable, since Congo can be translated a number of ways. It refers to Vajra, or ritual weapon of absolute hardness, strength and power. I will now be talking about the parallels between Foss and Buddha. There are several similarities between Foss's story and the story of Siddhartha Gautama, the man who became Buddha. To keep it brief, Gautama was a prince who initially lived a life of luxury and ignorance, overly protected by his father, much in the same way Foss was protected by Congo and prevent him from doing anything dangerous. Eventually, it is Gautama's own choice that he goes out of his palace to see the real world, and he is shocked by it much in the same way that Foss is shocked by the events they experience, like the betrayal of the Admirabilis, the Amethyst twins getting crushed, and Antak getting taken to the moon, and ultimately comes to envy their ignorant past self. In the story of the Buddha, Gautama comes across what is known as the four sides: an old man, a sick man, a dead man, and a monk. Having lived his whole life in ignorance, he hadn't realized that people could grow old, get sick, and eventually die. Foss has a similar experience. They don't encounter these things in the same order, but there are certain characters that seem to represent the four sides. These would be an Arcticide, the dead man who dies in front of Foss's eyes trying to save him, Part Paksha, the sick man, a sapphire who is born with an incomplete torso, which leaves them unconscious most of the time. Yellow Diamond as the old man, as they are the oldest gem and have lost the most amount of teammates. And lastly we have Cinnabar, the monk, because he isolates himself from everybody around him, because his own body produces a poison, in this case mercury, which harms everybody around him. This is a quite subjective interpretation. Many of the characters have qualities that overlap enough to warrant them switching places, but these are the ones that I found most fitting. The main gist is that these characters have a significant influence over Foss' decision to pursue the truth of the Lunarians, much in the same way the four sides inside Gautama to leave his home with some companions in search of enlightenment, which is quite similar to what Foss ends up doing by going to the moon with several gems. There's also a very strong case to be made that the Lunarians don't really need Kongo-sensei to pray them away into nothingness. We can see this in the case of Shiro, who attacked the gems while Kongo-sensei was sleeping. Once Kongo-sensei woke up and saw Shiro, he gave the dog a command, and after a while of playing with him, Shiro was contemned and faded away into nothingness. This is, as far as I remember, the only case where a Lunarian didn't need to be prayed away to achieve nothingness. Shiro was also split into a total of 108 puppies. The number 108 may refer to its significance in Buddhism. In Buddhism, it is believed that one must overcome the 108th earthly temptations in order to reach nirvana or enlightenment. This may also be the reason why the series has a total of 108 chapters. We also learn of Khmer's true name in chapter 89, which is revealed as Yama, in a reference to the Buddhist god of hell. Yama, specifically his Japanese name Enma Daio, meaning Great King Enma in Buddhist mythology. He is said to be both the ruler of the underworld and the one who judges the souls of the dead on whether or not they go to heaven or hell. In the last chapter we can see a piece of Foss landing on top of a flower, which could represent the Buddhahastamaska Sutra, the belief that sees the total sum of all things as being contained in each individual phenomena. The Buddha Habastamaska Sutra also highlights the visionary and mystical power of attaining the spiritual wisdom which sees the nature of the world. In all atoms of all lands, Buddha enters each and every one, producing miracle displays for sentient beings. Such is the way of Vairocana. The techniques of the Buddha are inconceivable, all appearing in accord with beings' minds. In each atom, the Buddhas of all times appear, according to inclinations, while their essential nature neither comes nor goes. By their raw power they pervade the world. Children of the Buddha, just as if there was a great sutra, as extensive as the great universe, in which are written down all phenomena in the great universe. That is to say, in it is written about the phenomena in the great enclosing iron mountains, as extensively as the great enclosing iron mountains. It is written about the phenomena on earth, as extensively as the earth. It is written about the phenomena in the medium universe, as extensively as the medium universe. It is written about the phenomena in the small universe, as extensively as the small universe. In the same vein, all phenomena, be they of the four continents, or the great oceans, Sumeru mountains, the palaces of the gods in the heavens of the realm of desire, the palaces in the realm of form, and the palaces of the formless realm, are all written down to an equal length. Even though this sutra is as extensive as the great universe, it can be fully compromised within a single particle of dust. As it is with one particle, so it is with all particles of dust. This can be seen in the second to last panel, where a comet flies by what looks like Foss's original body, and could likely mean that the story and events of the Land of the Lustrous will take place again in a different universe, but a bit different. These are all the important themes of Buddhism in the Land of Lustrous as far as I have seen, researched and heard about online. I hope this video could help you understand the Buddhism themes in the Land of the Lustrous, since it is such an important motive. I had a lot of fun researching and rereading the manga to make this video. If you think that I have missed anything, please tell me in the comments, as there is a lot of things up to debate and speculation. If you have enjoyed this video and thought that it helped you understand the Buddhism themes better, then make sure to like and subscribe.